Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a live stream, so if you're watching this later, just know that this was going on. A lot of conversation going back and forth more than likely, but this is a nice Saturday. I figured I'd pop in, have an hour or two to just go back and forth, answer some questions, and have a nice little conversation with all of you. For those of you who don't know, my name is Alexander Howell. My YouTube channel deals with real estate and travel with a huge hint of Mexico in it. So I'm gonna roll the intro real quick, and then we're gonna get to everything else. Stick around. And there we are. So I wanted to pop in today because obviously you can probably see from there it is. I'm a huge Missouri Tigers fan, and I was waiting till the end of the game to pop in and see how things were going with everyone. But unfortunately, it went to overtime and we lost, and it was absolutely terrible. But I kept the shirt on. I've actually had this shirt since college, and you'll probably notice right there is where a button used to be. I've had some good moments in this shirt, and today it did not happen. So that's what we're doing. So here we are today. Anyway, so I wanted to go over a couple of things. A lot's been happening in Merida between the stadium and the airport. There's a couple of things we've talked about, but really I just wanted to kind of hang out with you guys and see how things were going. And just to get this out of the way real quick, if you don't mind liking and subscribing this, or liking this video and subscribing to the channel, I'd appreciate it. Outside of that, we're just going to kind of kick it off. I'm going to hang out. If you guys have any questions, obviously let me know. And over here is my screen, so if I look over here for a lot of the video, that's the reason why. And, or you guys can't see, because my arm is disappearing, because that's how OBS works. Bella, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here today. I was actually going to call you and Roy Green out as members and Patreons of the channel, so thank you so much for being the first person to comment. It makes it so much easier. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, man, this has been kind of a crazy week. So for those of you who don't know, I've done several videos. One of my main sources for information about Yucatan is Yucatan Magazine, and they printed an article that'd be 2 days ago titled "Tensions Flare Over Plans for Merida's New Stadium." Obviously, things are going well, and we talked about that a bit on the last video. But it just seems like there are so many things that are planned, that are going forward, that are not going forward, that are being disputed, that we've got some fun coming up, I think, in the Yucatan. So we're gonna see how it's going. Trail, how's it going? From Atul, very nice. Good afternoon to you as well. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was not happy with the end result of my football game. So this was I actually meant to start this about 30 minutes ago, and my wife and I both went to the University of Missouri. My niece is going there now. She's in the vet school. Amazing. And I was trying to rep my team, and man, we just looked terrible today. It was a terrible day. Hello, Bella. I'm glad you saw the notification. That means that things are working on YouTube. Fantastic. Yeah, it's been it's been a day. We stayed out with some neighbors last night, kind of hung out, and this morning my kids got up at like 5:30 in the morning, and so everything that I had planned to do today has kind of been set aside. My wife is going to Costco, my kids are taking their nap time, and dad's down, and it looks like a very nice background, but it's just a green screen. Um, their dad's down just hanging out in the basement, so I figured I'd get on here and just have a good time. So if you guys have any questions, I can obviously we'll just go right here. I can go to this screen and we can talk about anything, look up stuff in the region, and you can kind of see that Yucatan Magazine has had a few interesting articles that have come out in the last few days. But if you have questions yourself, obviously feel free to ask. I can talk all day long, but yours are the questions that I'm here for. So I'm going to switch back real quick, and there we are. But yeah, so I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's been crazy. In about a little over an hour, we're going to have a bounce house across the street from our house, and we're having our neighborhood barbecue. And I really love our neighbors. We have some excellent neighbors in this neighborhood. Again, one of the reasons that it's kind of difficult to think about leaving here full time. We didn't realize it. We're in a new construction area, and I work new construction and real estate, and I know that as the neighborhood fills out, you can kind of get some strange people. But we're lucky enough to have some excellent neighbors, and so we're having a little block party coming up in an hour or two, and it's also one of those things like I've got to recharge my social battery because we've been going weekend after weekend after weekend, and it's a little interesting. So I'm here with you to recharge my social battery. But let's sneak over here real quick. Um, Back to this view. And by the way, above me, as you can tell, is Notepad, one of the most advanced pieces of software ever created. And that shows my Instagram, Twitter, which I'm normally not on, but I am on Instagram a lot. Patreon, and again, like I said about Bella and Roy, thank you so much for being members and Patreons. Obviously, very, 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 very much appreciated. But those are the links. And then if you want to be a member of the channel, just go to the main page of this channel, hit join. You can become a Traveler or Voyager, and you get called out. You get called out like crazy. I think that's going to be one of the main goals for me is to make sure that every single time I go live, I call out all of my patrons and members. So thank you all for being a part of that. But this was kind of an interesting thing. So I want to go through this real quick because even I'm a little confused because I keep hearing about private investment dollars into these big public works things. And one comment that I saw, I can't remember if it was on my channel, on one of our pages or not, but one comment that I saw about the stadium was they're still trying to get infrastructure, internet, and a few other things up to some of the neighborhoods in El Norte, in the north part of Merida. And so getting a giant stadium on top of the harbor, on top of Costco, on top of the museum, I know that has been a bit of a point of contention. So I want to kind of go through this, see what you guys thought. If you guys have questions, comments, or otherwise, feel free to go in the chat. The only thing I will ever ask about the chat, be nice. Like, I'm cool with you having opinions and shouting them out. I will never, ever, ever be the person that just suppresses that idea. We can have debate. But I've had a couple of comments on YouTube recently that were really, I think, just people that kind of came in, saw something and misinterpreted it and said some stuff. So just be nice. That's all I ask. Anyway, John, how's it going? Hey, good to see you again. How's the COVID situation in Merida? I'm going for 5 months in November and hope the situation is okay. So I'm going to tell you, our last time that we were down was in August. Is that right? No, we went until September. So about a month and a half ago is when we got back, about a month ago. And they're on an orange level, which basically means that there's curfew from like 11 to 5 a.m. Masks have to be worn both like when you're outside, not inside your house or anything like that, but when you're outside walking around, they ask that you wear your mask. And then once you're in a restaurant, you can get into the restaurant and then take it off once you're seated, having something to eat or something to drink. Honestly, it was one of those things for me where we were fine. We didn't have an issue with it. We had the kids with us. We had family with us, all kinds of stuff. And obviously this is a controversial matter for a lot of people, but we didn't really have an issue with it. There have been peaks and valleys as far as like cases and that kind of thing. But as far as going for 5 months, I think you're going to be fine. Currently, and I saw something about this changing, so if anybody's in the chat and wants to correct me on this, please feel free. But I did see that Progresso Beach is still closed on Saturday and Sunday, open during the week. So that might be something to consider. But for the most part, when we were down there, which I assume it was just as constricted or not, we really didn't have an issue with it. So I think you're going to be just fine. And by the way, I apologize if it looks like my eyes are going a little crazy. I have new contacts in, and they feel a bit like saran wrap on my eyes. So that's why I look a little strange if I do. But John, I hope that answers your question. We were down there for 3 weeks with 2 kids that were 6 and 3 years old. We didn't have a problem. We had a really good time. It was an excellent thing. So I hope that's the same way. The cenotes opened. Let's look it up. I honestly don't know. Let me check it out. That's the positive about being live, right? Okay, German. German knows more than me at this point. Okay, he says they changed the curfew last week, and I think we are in yellow now. Let's see what it is. I'm gonna look up. Let's see, state of Yucatan, Mexico, COVID restrictions. Let's look at that. You can see that I've looked this up in the past because it's purple and not blue. All right. I'm just going to go from the top one and see if we need to see anything. Yucatan.travel. Always translate. Thank you, Google. Oh, try again. We'll see what happens here. We're going to figure this out, I promise. That doesn't have the restrictions. All right. Gotta keep looking it up. Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where I'm currently in the States. I really wish we were down there, but kids and all that. You guys saw it on the last video that we talked about it on. Yes, Department of State advisors, teams, some areas. Really wish there was a good place to go on this. I know it's gone cold too far. It's gone cold too far. I don't know. Yeah, and see, this is one of the negatives about being here in the U.S. as opposed to Mexico. Looking this up is it's giving me U.S. sites as opposed to Mexico sites when it comes to the restriction level. Oh. I'm gonna look it up over here, see if I can find something else that's a little bit different. When are you coming back? German, we are coming back. I'm gonna skip to that a little bit real quick here. We are coming back late October or early November. This is what I love about live. I can make as many mistakes as I want. We are thinking about coming back either late October or early November, and the reason for that is we have to pick out furniture and kind of finalize some plans for our house. So yeah, hit me up, 100%. Love to. I've already met with a couple of people that are a part of this channel that have been a part of it, and it's awesome. But that's the goal. It was late October or early November. John, no, I understand. I especially with this wonderful background. That's how you. I can understand why you would think I was in Merida. No, I'm not. I am back in the States. I'm back in Kansas City now. But it goes back and forth. And again, I have so many people that have emailed me, commented, and things like that that I get. I like doing things like this, getting on live stream, because we can kind of work through what is going on and try to get people the right information. Like I said, I'm a little limited because I'm not in Mexico, so I'm getting a bunch of U.S. stuff. But we're still gonna try to figure out exactly what's going on, because the last time I was down there and the last I heard was that they still had the orange restrictions. They were trying to figure out though when they were going to open it up a little bit more. And I went totally blank on that for a second. But German's right. I know that they have thought about raising the restrictions up, but I feel like they've done it just piece by piece. So it's all good. But like I said, we can just continue to try to find it out, because it's. Here we go. Let's see if Yucatan Magazine has anything new. Oh, I did see this. They're hosting a big tourism thing. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. Bars, cantinas, and sports centers to reopen in Yucatan. As Yucatan begins to lift more COVID-19 restrictions, life seems to be slowly returning to normal. This week saw the reopening of several of Merida's largest athletic centers, including Estadio General Salvador Alvarado, the Centro Paralímpico, and the Gimnasio Polifuncional. However, state authorities noted that people visiting these sports centers must wear face masks at all times and maintain social distancing protocols. It was announced that bars and cantinas are now able to reopen, but only at 50% capacity. Seriously, I apologize. My contact just went straight into the opposite side of my eye. I don't know if you guys can see that on here, but we're waiting for it. There it goes. Okay, it's back in. This much anticipated news came on the heels of months of protests by bar owners and staff who felt that they were being unfairly targeted by authorities. Also making their return are elderly people begging for tips at select grocery stores who have been out of work since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, let's see. Coastal City of Progresso is expecting to return the travel of Carnival Breeze, a cruise ship carrying 2,000 passengers. While this number still falls short of the ship's maximum capacity of 4,000 passengers, yikes, it is still much higher than the ship's first voyage to Yucatan since the outbreak of the pandemic, which carried only 300. So, to answer all of the questions, slowly opening back up, which is a positive thing. So, Concall, thank you, German, again for watching that while I was answering this. Concall is on the outskirts of Merida, about 25 minutes from Centro. There you go. That's your answer. Oh, my son's here. Hey, buddy. How's it going? You want to say hi to the people? There's my son, Connor. You're supposed to be getting quiet time, bud.
Okay, can I do something?
Yeah, why don't you read a book, and then if you want to, you can go back into your room and watch a show, okay? Why don't you read one Pokemon book, okay? Please do. Because I asked you to. All right. All right. Can you head back upstairs? I'm working. Con, please. Hold on just a second, guys. I apologize. Can you please head upstairs? Thank you. And there we are. Again, the benefits of live entertainment. So it looks like everything's kind of opening up, which is a positive thing. I want to read this real quick. Whenever there's some a politician of any sort that makes a comment, I like reading that, no matter the case, cause, appreciation, or non-appreciation for it. But the reopening of several of our state's key industries has only been possible because of the successful implementation of the national vaccination strategy. But we must not let our guard down, said Yucatan Governor Mauricio Villaraigosa. So there we are. That's what we have. It looks like we are getting close to opening up. We are getting there, but not quite there yet. The positive is that, you know, the travel restrictions, the mask mandates, and everything else, I feel like it's kind of like the U.S. It's like as vaccination rates go up, as the understanding of the situation presents itself to all of us, we're able to kind of live our lives again, which is nice. And again, that's not a comment of like that. That's not me having a political comment. That's not me having a comment about masks or anything like that. That's just me saying, like, here we are. Hopefully this works out well. And by the way, if you are on this channel and you're watching, please feel free to like this video. I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Let's see, anybody? Okay. But yeah, so again, when it comes to everything opening up, I think we're kind of at a position where I think things are going pretty well. The cantinas and everything opening up. I mean, when you think about the tourism industry in Merida, which I talk about this, I say a lot, but not constantly. One of the things that drives me a little crazy about when I discuss Merida as like compared to normal tourism destinations like Cancun or Puerto Vallarta or something like that, people are always like, well, there are more people that travel here. Just look it up. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but it does feel more like if I told you Cancun was more of a tourism town than Mexico City, we would probably all nod our heads and say, yeah, even though more people are going to Mexico City as a number, probably the destination for like spring breakers is Cancun. Merida definitely has a lot of people that go in and out, but seeing stuff like this happening where bars and cantinas, sports centers, just recreational activities in general opening up, I think that's going to be really helpful for Merida going forward. As long as everybody kind of agrees that we need to do certain things and we're all on the same page, I think we're going to be just fine. John, what's going on? Do we need proof of vaccination to enter Mexico? No. Unless this has changed, and I don't think it has, and it would have had to have changed in the last like 3 days. But no, you do not need proof of vaccination to go to Mexico at time of recording, which is 3:05 p.m. And I'm going to put this on there just in case anybody rewatches this live stream. At time of recording, 3:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9/25/2021. You don't need proof of vaccination to enter Mexico, but you need proof that you are COVID negative coming back to the States. And I've shared a couple of times in these videos exactly who we've used. And if you need to get that information, go to our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/travel2 Merida. Actually, I'll just put that on my notepad real quick here. since I don't have it already. Facebook.com/groups/travel 2 capitalized Merida. So if you go there, I posted, and a few others I believe too have posted who they use for the test to get back into the States. But everything that I've seen, you do not need proof of vaccination or anything else to get into Mexico. If I'm wrong, please feel free to comment that or chat it with me, and I'll look it up. But I've seen nothing that says that you have to be vaccinated to get into Mexico. So that's where we are at this point. My son, by the way, who came down here that you guys met just now, he's supposed to be in bed until 3. That's his normal quiet time, but we let him stay up like an hour later. And so we figured he'd know that. Like I said, we got a neighborhood party. We're going to have a good time. It's all good. Let's see if I can do one thing too. I did get, we received, I should try to speak proper English for somebody who is an English speaker. I did receive new pictures from our build. For those of you who don't know, or I didn't update properly, we we received an email that basically told us that we were running into an issue with 2 rooms and their ceilings not being able to hold weight. And those 2 rooms just happen to be our kids' rooms above our new 2nd floor. So they said we can put beams in there or we can take everything down and rebuild it. Your call. They're about the same price. And I said, let's just take it down and rebuild it because I want to make sure that my kids are good in the rooms that are concrete. So that was an interesting thing. I just sent the link to my email, so I'm waiting for it to come through, but I'll try to see if I can bring you guys or show you guys some pictures from the house. Let's see. KLYNM. Sorry, again, contact issues. Are they still having the slow market in Merida? Having the slow market in Merida. Can I ask you to expand on that? I want to make sure I understand what you're asking. Because when I think of market, my brain goes to real estate just because that's what I do. And I would say that it is the opposite of slow at this point. But if you don't mind expanding on that, I'm happy to answer. And if I don't know the answer, we'll just look it up here. But yeah, if you're talking about the real estate market, I would say it is the opposite of slow. Is what I've seen. Let me get in here real quick, see if I can find this thing that I just sent myself. Oh. How do I get so much junk mail? I don't want junk mail. Okay. What if I can... Let's do this real quick. I'm going to put this right there. Boom. Okay. For those of you who want to see this stuff, make sure that I'm good. I got my concurrent viewers. Boom. We're good to go. By the way, all of you, if you're here and you're enjoying the content, please feel free to like the video and subscribe. It's a cheap and easy way to say thanks. And also, handle me today, who I'm obviously ridiculously tired. So apologies for that. But so Nikki Alex 57, work progress. This is, for those of you who have seen this, who haven't seen this, but you're on this for the first time, this is actually, and actually I shouldn't say that. If you're on this for the first time, first of all, welcome. Second of all, for those of you who have seen all of these pictures, you might recognize this view. What you might not know is that this is our 2nd floor. So even though they had to tear down a few things, this is all the new stuff. This will actually be, if my mouse and cursor will work, this will actually be our patio outside of the 2nd floor. It matches the basement, so it's pretty cool. But you can kind of see as we go down here, these are views into the living room. This is the living room. Over here on this side, if you guys can see that, that's a bedroom. So that's the entrance. Oh, there we go. There's the bedroom. And then that is, as you can see here, that's looking out from the 2nd floor into the master bedroom, which is right here, and it's surrounded by trees. We've gotten to that point. It's awesome. That's where we are. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, real quick. I'm gonna bring that beautiful view of concrete up. KLYNM. They used to have an outdoor food market in Merida, but I think it closed or was restricted. I was just wondering if you knew they reopened. Give me 1 second, guys. Yes, Con.
Mm. And how can I do it?
You want to go watch the show?
So if I just wanted to get off from quiet time.
Yeah, you can get it from quiet time. If you want to watch a show, you can. You can watch one over there, but you have to keep the volume down, or you can watch one in the living room. Your call.
Yeah. Like you too. Wow, good thing these people think it's the office.
Well, it is an office. It's just not completed. All right. I'm gonna talk to them. You go upstairs for me, okay? Love you, bud. Hey, don't touch. Con, no, you need to go upstairs, bud. Thank you. Because I'm your dad. Con, upstairs, please. I'm trying to be very nice. Thank you, guys. So, the outdoor food market in Merida, but I think it's closed or was restricted. Man, I'm not trying to avoid the question. So, and again, this is just my experience or inexperience. So, where our home is in Chembek, we have an outdoor food market. It's Chembek Market. It was recently renovated and recently within the last 5 years. And when we were down there the last time, it was going again. It was just masks and everybody kind of social distancing and that kind of thing. So I didn't see any restrictions on things like that uh, outside of the normal situation, outside of the masks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. So I think I don't I think it's restricted in the sense that it has to conform to everything else. I don't believe it's closed. If it's not that one, I think that it would have been closed for other reasons. But at this point, everything seems to be open, and as long as people are social distancing and wearing masks and things like that, it doesn't seem like there's really much that's a negative there. So I hope that answers your question. And by the way, thank you for saying you love the videos. I obviously appreciate you being here and watching. So thank you so much. But yeah, and again, I'm not trying to give misinformation or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you my experiences. We were just down there about a month ago, and again, there were places that had shut down, but it seemed like it was more because they couldn't make it through the restrictions that had been in place as opposed to the restrictions that are currently in place. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, and again, the craziest thing to me is like when we're at our place, one of the big things for us was the fact that there's the market that is just down the street. The Chembek Market, I think it was renovated 5 years ago, and they put a bunch of money into it. You go down there, and on certain days, it is open. There's all kinds of fresh food to get. There's little places outside of there where you can have lunch or dinner or whatever it might be. That was one of the best things about our location. I can see it from our front. It's not a front porch, from the sidewalk right outside of our house. It's right there, and then there's a grocery store 2 blocks north. Kind of a Walmart all-inclusive store about 5 blocks away, and then an Uber ride that costs you $4.50, including tip, and you're at Walmart or Costco or anything else. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. I apologize. I'm kind of all over the place today. Getting back to this, just to give you guys a bit of an update, so you can kind of see that this is one of the bedrooms going into a closet. This is actually facing north, and I think I've got it. Yeah. So watching the film or watching the video facing north, you can see all the electrical stuff coming out of the cinder block. But right here is actually the big window that's looking down into the courtyard. So it has been built up at this point, which is really cool to see. And then you can see the fun here. These are the 2 bedrooms where my kids are, and they've removed the roofs because they said either beam or we completely redo it. And if I didn't like the people that were going to be sleeping under there, I might say just put some beams in. But I like them, and so we're redoing the entire thing. just an additional cost, but you know, you deal with what you deal with on either renovation or new construction. It really wasn't that crazy. I think it was a few $1,000s to just make sure that it was completely safe and sturdy. Again, positive about being a Merida is it's not bad to make sure that everything is taken care of and taken care of well. The funny thing is, if you look at what they're looking through, this right here is the giant window at the back of the kitchen. So, gonna be big. If you look here, again, this is on the second floor. They have just started going crazy on the second floor. This is the roof that has to be redone. Roof that has to be redone. Courtyard is this place that has mold up top here. There's just a ton of stuff to do. And then this is the basement. This is going to be if you're looking, let me see if I can get a good picture. So where this guy is sitting right here, he is sitting right at the wall between the kitchen and the patio area. So that's where we are. The amount of work that they are putting into this construction is insane. But what's even more insane to me, hey, you see him again. There he is, just chilling right there. But what's more insane to me is that just the progress is everything that we've asked for. A lot of times up here in the States, things go slow. A random thing will slow everything down. We have not had that, knock on fake wood. We have not had that thus far. These guys are really doing a great job making progress. You can kind of see ceilings here. This is the master bedroom. Back into this space is the bathroom, so the master actually faces the rest of the house. And they put a new coat of concrete on it, so it's a little bit smoother. I believe this is their second of 3 coats of concrete. And then here is, if you guys make sure I've got you. So over here is the closet area. Back here is the shower, and then the other side is the toilet. There, where that guy is. You walk down that way, and you turn right. That's the toilet area. So we're good to go. German, what's going on? Sorry, I just saw your oh man, I just checked and Yucatan is in yellow, so things should be getting back to normal. German, thank you so much. Can you, if you don't mind, if you're on here still, can you post the link to that in the live chat? I'd really appreciate it, just so my dumb behind knows exactly what I need to send people to as well. And then when I get done with the stream, I will post it in the description as well. But thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate it, German. Thank you. John, do you have to pay property taxes and school taxes? So yes, yeah, we do. I actually paid those. I've talked about this a couple of times on previous videos, but I don't remember which ones exactly. We paid our taxes a year ahead of time, and our taxes for the house that we have now, and they will go up once we're finished and finalized, but our taxes were something like $40 or $50. That was the property tax. And when you pay it ahead of time, they give you like 25,000 pesos of insurance on your house and stuff like that. But US, it was about 40 or 50 bucks for property taxes. I can't remember the breakdown of where that went into schools and stuff, but that was our experience. So it's not, electricity is expensive. Stuff from the US, like luxury items that you think about, TVs, Nikes, things like that, they get expensive. But when you're actually down there, it's very, it's almost ludicrously inexpensive to live compared to even Kansas City, which is one of the cheaper markets in the US. So, but yeah, we definitely paid property taxes. We don't have any personal property down there. That's probably a good question to ask for a next video. But we don't have personal property down there, so I don't know if there's personal property taxes. But yeah, we paid property taxes early. Even when our house is done, I'm gonna assume on the top end, it's still gonna be less than like 500 bucks a year, and we pay 8 times that or more here in Kansas City. So, but the exact same value property, by the way. But like, I worked out my numbers, and it's a no-brainer when it comes to monthly cost of living. Oh yeah, I had this conversation with somebody who sent me a text and wanted to get on a phone call about Merida. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, my text number is 816-727-7740. That's 816-727-7740. But I had a conversation with somebody about this, and they were a bit worried. And also, I think maybe in the comment section this week or email, either one, I had a conversation about this. And it was like, well, I want to invest but I don't know what the overall issue might be. And the whole thing was, when it comes to monthly expenses, if you invest in real estate and it's slightly inflated, but you're going to plan on living there, your monthly expenses are going to be so low that if there is something that depreciate, like, I want to say depreciate, that's not the right word. Let's say you buy a house in Merida for 200,000 and it goes down to 180. You're going to look at that and say, I lost $20,000 on paper. But your monthly expenses are so so ridiculously, ludicrously low for everything else that you need, that you're going to make it up in other ways if you plan on staying there long term. That's not saying a year turnaround or anything like that, but if you're planning on this being retirement, if you see a dip in the market, I think you're in a solid position. That's my opinion. That's how I feel personally, but I think that's the biggest lesson to learn, is your monthly expenses are so low that you're going to be just fine. Let's see. Oh, and in Canada. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I said, Kansas City is a like ridiculously low cost of living for the US overall, especially when it comes to real estate, but Merida's still lower. Let's see. Osvaldo de Leon. We're moving to buy a home in Merida. Is this done with an American bank? And I apologize, guys. Again, my contact. I really wish I would have just kept my glasses on. My contacts drive me insane. Um, so let's go over that. Like, let's break this down a bit. So, if you're going to buy a home in Merida, is this done with an American bank? No. Our situation, I'll just tell you kind of our situation so you can kind of see what yours is going to look like. We had to reorganize our finances. We could afford the house, but when we looked at the amount of interest that we were going to pay for a home in Merida as opposed to a place in the United States, the interest rates, if you would go through a bank, which is a ridiculously difficult process, they're high. I think the best I found was 8.5%, but we had no credit in Merida. So what we ended up doing was refinancing the home that I'm in now and our lake home, getting a bunch of money together, line of credit. And so once we're done with our house in Mexico, it's going to be completely 100% no questions asked, paid off. And then we'll have two that just we owe more on. Huh. I said moron. Nice. Anyway, so that's how we did it. So we basically like sent a big chunk of money down, and then we send monthly payments, and then we'll have the final payoff in the end. But if we went with a bank in Mexico, like I said, it was going to be an 8.5% interest rate as opposed to here, where I think we got 3.5. So that made more sense. You still can do it, but every realtor, every architect, everybody that I've talked to that has invested in a home in Mexico has said either go cash or go home, or just be prepared to have a lot of issues. So getting back to it, is it done with an American bank? No. If you do it, it is through a Mexican bank where you may not have credit, again, making it more difficult. But what we have done, though, reorganizing everything here, is we've utilized our American bank to send wires down to Mexico to pay the people that are renovating our home. So our architect gets, currently, I think he has 3 months left, a monthly payment of a certain amount of money, and then he gets the two big payments on either end. So through an American bank, no. Utilizing an American bank to pay it, yes. I hope that helps. It might not. I apologize. I'm very happy to go into a little bit more detail if necessary. But basically, we reorganized everything so that we had enough quote-unquote cash, or at least credit, to throw money at that house, and now we just owe on our two houses that are based in the U.S. So cash is king, and Mexico has all of our cash. Let's see. KLYNM, what are your thoughts on the Maya Express, especially for the real estate market there in Merida? Bella, I appreciate the haha, by the way. What are your thoughts on the Maya Express, especially? So I actually had another live stream where I talked about the Maya Express, and I pretty much said my piece on it. I think I called it the Maya train or something like that, but it was a live stream, and just went through articles discussing every part and point of it. And just to give a succinct answer, or as succinct as I can personally get, because I talk way too much. My personal opinion is I think it's a fantastic idea. I know there are a lot of people who don't like the idea of the environmental impact that goes into it, um, that have opinions politically. They go back and forth. My personal opinion, seeing how projects like this impact different areas, is in here. You guys don't need to look at my house unless you want to. I feel bad also for this guy right here that's like working and he's forever suspended in my montage here. But let me go back to this. I really think it's a good idea. I understand everybody's concerns about the environmental impact, about what that might mean, about the political situation and everything else. But when you really look at it, something like this, in my opinion, let's keep that in mind, in my opinion, should have been done years upon years upon years ago. There are so many amazing things within the Yucatan Peninsula that connecting all of those things just seems like a no-brainer. By the way, if you're watching this video and you're enjoying the content and my ridiculousness here, please feel free to like the video. I'd very much appreciate it. Anyway, getting back to it. I really think it's a great idea. There's nothing else I can really say. I think that connecting all of those different pieces and parts, I mean, just thinking about Merida to Cancun, to me, is the most, it makes the most sense of anything within the entire Mayan train. Because I think there are so many people that would utilize that between each part. Thinking about the ruins and just the heart of the Yucatan Peninsula and the people and the heritage, I like it. I think there's a huge argument to be made in favor of it. I understand the other side. And again, I'm a foreigner. I really have no ability to say you should 100% do this or not. I have no votes, anything like that. But when infrastructure projects like this happen, it seems to me that people are ready to get on the train of utilizing them. So I hope that's not too political. I try not to get that way on this channel. Adrian, yo, Adrian. I'm sure you've never heard that, by the way. Do you think it's now too far from Merida proper? I don't know. That's one of those things that I think only time is going to tell. I'm not trying to just like stop the conversation. I'm trying to think about my response to Adrian here. I really don't know. I hope, just like so many other things, that they get it closer to Merida proper, because I think, the original plans like Parque La Plancha and that kind of thing make a lot more sense. Trying to get it close to the airport, trying to get it so that it actually works within the spectrum of, what am I trying to say? Works within the holistic plan of trying to get mass transit everywhere. If you do that, I think you're on a much more positive course than you would be if your only goal is just to make a cool train that goes across the Yucatan Peninsula. So I hope it's not. I know they haven't truly finalized everything, but I hope they work it out to where it's closer to Merida proper, because if it's too far south, I think you're going to see a situation where you're going to have issues, personally. Or at least you're not going to get the full benefit of putting that much money into something that could be so amazing, if that makes sense. Let's see. I think I've missed a couple of messages. American Bank. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, just going back to it, I really think that there was so much potential for the Mayan train to be something that could, I don't want to say revitalize, because I don't think that Merida necessarily needs anything that is going to quote unquote revitalize the area. I think that there would be a huge missed opportunity if they don't do it properly. Get it close to the city. Make sure that people are able to go in and out of it as quickly as possible. And then I think all you're going to do is revamp that entire peninsula, or not revamp, vamp up the entire peninsula, and you're going to be in a positive situation. So that's my opinion, by the way. Just one dude sitting in Kansas City talking about where he's going to live eventually and hoping that it all goes right. Got a message from someone I need to respond to. Boom. All right, we're done. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are. And again, for us, you know, the Park of La Plancha thing, and and that investment in that area would be even better because we have a house that's like 4 blocks south of where they're already starting construction on that stuff. So I'm into it. Yeah, aren't we all? Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Bella. I'm gonna switch back real quick because I just get really excited looking at this picture because that place didn't exist except for pictures in our memory. So for those of you who don't know, this is the house that we're building in Merida. That upper level is our second level, and they're actually taking the picture from our master bedroom. So that's going to be our master bedroom view. And I mean, come on, blue sky, clouds, palm trees, other trees. Outside of the construction equipment, I could live there right now. Oh, and the 99,000-degree temperatures that were there when we were down there in August. That was a little bit of a buzzkill. Not for me. I just sweat it out, but still. But yeah, I want to give another shout out to Bella Kleiniger and Roy Green, my Patreons and my members of this channel. Thank you so much for one, being here, two, contributing to the channel. Obviously, very much appreciated. And if you want to be somebody like them, just go to the main channel. If you go into the top right hand corner, you can hit buy a drink, and that takes you to the Patreon because that was the best slash stupidest thing that I could come up with. And you can also hit join, and that makes you able to be a traveler or a Voyager. So either way, but thank you to both of them. Obviously, always appreciated. Michael Bouton, please tell me I'm pronouncing that right. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Michael Bouton or Bouton, but looks great. Thank you so much, Michael. I very much appreciate that. Bella, picture it. Maybe such skies. Ah, the dream. Totally is. 100%. That's what the goal is. 100%. This is all I'm thinking about 24/7, 365, which is probably why I need to get more stuff done. But I just get these pictures once a week, and then I kind of zone out. You can see, like, that's the courtyard. I think that's the last pictures I sent. Yeah. So this is actually the original structure, the last of the original structure going out to the courtyard. And on this side right here, there's going to be a nice little water feature, which was something that I really cared about. So, yep, that's where we are. And also, all the information is just above me right here on the ridiculously complicated and technologically amazing notepad. But yeah, so we're having a good time. Obviously, it's construction, so nothing's going perfectly right. You always have delays. You always have things that happen. We had to take 2 roofs out of the bedrooms that the kids are going to be staying in to make sure that it was completely sound because that was not going to go over well. And then you just have, delays like a hurricane comes through the Yucatan. Who knew? Whatever. Michael, my wife was and said the weather is perfect. Exactly. And that's what matters. I I envy anybody that's able to go down to Yucatan or just to this area in general during the winter, because that's our plan eventually, is to go down there every single winter, because in Kansas City temperature drops, humidity goes crazy, and it drops, and all of a sudden it's 5 degrees outside, and you can't like walk outside without like your hands hurting, your knuckles hurting. So I'm ridiculously excited to say bye and go down here in the winter. But that's probably going to be when the kids are in college. My son over there, he's playing with his games and stuff. He's been reading chapter books for like 2 years now. Just insanely smart. My wife and I both went to the University of Missouri, who lost today, which that was a terrible game. But I'm excited for him to go there or anywhere. Scholarships are awesome. Amigos Russ, hi bro. Hi bro to you, my friend. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Just sitting here on a Saturday enjoying life. I've obviously got my green screen going, and apparently I need to improve my lighting because this is going on. But thus is the life of a green screen YouTuber. I'm writing to you via Google Translator. Fantastic. Hola, mi amigo. Google Translator is the best app in the entire world. Whether it's conversation, a comment that you need to make to somebody, or a situation like this, Google Translator, if you go anywhere in the world that is not just a pure tourist destination, download it on your phone. Google Translator, play with it. It's the best thing ever. And my amigo right here just showed that for you. I don't understand much, but I try. Oh, you're from Russia? Seriously? Awesome. What part of Russia? I don't know if we all knew this. Russia's a big place. That's so cool. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Hold on. That's my really loud keyboard, by the way. Apologies for that. English to Russian. Being here, my friend. Hope you enjoy the live stream. All right, let's see if this translates. We're going to make this work, I promise. Going to get it going. Amigos Rush wants us to listen to the real Russian song. If you're interested, show your hand, okay? I don't know. I have a bit of a history of people telling me to do things on live stream and it not going well. So I'm not going to show you my hand. But if you want to post a link or send me a link via my website, alexanderhowell.com, and go to the contact us and send me it, I promise you I will watch. That's cool. I'm glad you're here. Absolutely. That's so cool. It was amazing when I was on Twitch for a while. It was every time that I got on, it was like South Korea, Vietnam, Russia, Croatia, which was cool for me because I have a huge lineage from Croatia. So yeah, it's awesome. Well, I just wanted to say that I love Henry Ponce's work. I'm sure your home is going to be beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, Henry has been, not only does Henry do amazing work, he absolutely does fantastic work. The guy has his system set up so ridiculously well that whenever we have a question, it's answered in a day, in less than a day. We rarely have to wait anything more than 12 hours for him to respond. So whenever I talk about Henry, it's one of those situations where and I've said this on some of my videos. He's one, amazing, but two, everybody that we've dealt with has said like it's meeting a celebrity when you meet with him because he's known for his work. But also, if you don't work with him, he doesn't like get angry. It's not a sales thing. And to me, that's the ultimate goal for anybody that's in a situation, is to basically be able to look at everything that's going on and say, I'm so confident in what I do that if you don't want to work with me, that's completely fine. That's not me. That's not you. That's you finding a different situation. He has been able to do that so well that anybody that comes away talking to him knows, like, I got really lucky. My phone is blowing up. Cool. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. But yeah, if you follow his Instagram, I think it's just literally at Henry Ponce. I don't think he has something like me where it's like Instagram.com/@AlexanderHowell. Or no, @Alexander from KC. Somebody like me should know that better. But you will just constantly see just amazing work done by that guy. I mean, he works on commercial stuff, he works on residential stuff, but he posts it all the time, and it's all just beautiful. And if you follow me @Alexander from KC, you'll see some of it too. Let's see. Any cool song by Victor Tice that you haven't heard? Anything like that? It's only going for a couple of minutes. I'll check it out. I'll 100% check it out. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the messages here. Michael, have you been to Alvarado Stadium? I think it reopened. This is a great neighborhood park. No, I haven't. And I think you're the second or third person that has asked me that. And I really want to go. I just haven't had the opportunity. Every time we've been down there. Oh, my other son just came down. I'm probably going to have to get with the broadcast for too long. But no, we went down there last time, and I thought I was going to be able to get to some of the attractions that that are popular that I talk about a lot on this channel. But no, I wasn't able to get really anywhere. It was entertainment, 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 entertainment. So I wasn't, but my wife and I have to go down there, like I've said, late October to early November at some point, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is being able to hit the places that even I haven't seen yet. So yeah. All right, so my wonderful children are here. They have gotten up from their naps, which is awesome. But I'm gonna have to kick off the broadcast. Everyone that's here, thank you so much for doing this. Also, thank you so much for liking this video and being a part of the live stream. Saturday always seems to be the best day. If it's not, comment or like or comment on the live stream or comment anywhere else. I'd really appreciate it. Outside of that, guys, seriously, if you are here and you are not subscribed to the channel, the freest, most appreciative way that you can do something is just subscribing to it. I am ridiculously distracted. I apologize for that. I've got kids over here. But just again, thank you so much for being a part of this live broadcast. Very, very much appreciate it. And if you have any ideas, by the way, I was thinking about this earlier. If you have any ideas about future videos, comment them in on this video and we'll make it happen. So guys, I'm going to switch back real quick here. You too, man. You too, Michael. Take it easy. I'm going to switch back here. Thank you so much for being a part of this live broadcast. Obviously, very much appreciate it. And as always, peace. And I'm going to do the awkward thing here. Stop streaming.